Bill Meyer and Dana Gaske are shuffling through a thick file of photos, letters, and drawings from their daughter Madison Meyer's childhood. The papers are fanned out on the dining room table of the family's Carlsbad home.
Hi, Dad. How are you doing? I hope you have a great birthday with extra smiles. Thanks for putting up with me and my shoulder this year, even if it was tough. I love you so much, Madison. And she drew the family on all of her fingers, and Olive and our other dog, Scouty.
It looks like a scrapbook of keepsakes, but it's not. It's actually a collection of exhibits from the parents' legal battle to retain custody of Madison.
Our attorneys had just asked us that if to pull together some pictures in case we were needing to have them in trial.
For nearly a year, in 2019 and into 2020, Gaske and Meyer could only visit their daughter a couple times a week in the hospital as they fought with San Diego County in juvenile dependency court. The county and a few employees at Rady Children's Hospital suspected the parents were harming Madison and interfering with her treatment. It's known as medical child abuse, or Munchausen syndrome by proxy, and it poses a serious risk of death to child victims. The parents proved their innocence and regained custody of Madison. But it emerged during the dependency trial that Rady had been secretly surveilling the family in Madison's private hospital room while the county conducted its investigation. The family alleges the surveillance went on for nearly 40 days, but captured no evidence of abuse.
It was horrific. It was a nightmare. They tore our family apart. They literally tore our family apart.
Gaske and Meyer are currently suing Rady and the county in federal court. Rady declined an interview request and would not comment on the Meyer family's case, citing patient privacy protections. The county also declined an interview request, but emphasized that social workers are required by law to report and investigate suspected child abuse. Madison is now 20 years old. She's filed a similar lawsuit in state court and is represented by the same team of attorneys. She declined to be interviewed, but agreed to let her parents tell the family's story. Madison was an active kid growing up.
I mean, she wanted to try everything that she could. It was always about wanting to try soccer and then wanting to do gymnastics.
But this typical youthful exuberance came with unusual injuries. Between the ages of 9 and 12, she broke her foot, both wrists, and a finger, and also required knee surgery. And then Madison dislocated her shoulder at a surf camp. That marked a turning point for her health. The shoulder never healed properly and kept dislocating.
She had a lot of pain. She was having trouble with subluxing a lot. It would actually come out of the socket sometimes. She was putting it back in. And we had seen several people in orthopedics trying to figure out what to do with all this.
Doctors eventually diagnosed her with a genetic connective tissue disorder called hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Madison had shoulder surgery, but the problems persisted. At her middle school graduation, she delivered a speech wearing an elaborate sling wrapped around her shoulder.
Thank you, Ms. Coy, for being everything to me at school, and thank you especially to my parents. I'm only successful because of you and the backpack you filled with supplies. Thank you.
After a second reconstructive shoulder surgery, doctors gave her another diagnosis, complex regional pain syndrome. They urged Gaske and Meyer to enroll their daughter in an inpatient pain management program.
She suffered. She would talk to me about, Mom, make this pain go away. And as a parent, when you hear that, you're like, how have we done everything that's out there?
Meanwhile, the diagnoses kept piling up. By age 15, Madison had spells of dizziness from a nervous system disorder. Later, she would suffer from seizures and, for a while, needed a feeding tube.
She kept saying, is there something that can be done? I want to be like other kids. I want to be able to do fun stuff.
Gaske and Meyer contacted specialists around the country, desperately searching for answers. But they'd soon have a new fight on their hands, trying to keep custody of Madison. Scott Rodd, KPBS News.